I haven't seen many third string quarterbacks with the superstar elite of the elite group as much as I've seen Sam Darnold versus Trey Lance, who looks like I've seen maybe one or two. I haven't really seen him with anybody. Right?
He went to an A's game by himself.
He went to an A's game by himself. Okay. So he's publicly got. Even Brock Purdy's got his little entourage, right? But looks like Trey's out kind of
he's in no man's land going to A's games with 2,000 people. Like, I almost felt like he didn't go to a Giants game because he knew he wasn't going to get a standing ovation, so he went to the A's because no one's there. It's like, hey, I didn't get an ovation because there's literally no one here. God. You know what I mean?
God.
It's almost like that.
Those are the little things that, if you're an athlete, you have to think about. That
I don't want to get embarrassed at the Giants game and like, hey, and everyone's like,
he wasn't going to get a standing ovation like Brock.
No, what has he done? No offense. Not his fault.
Are you of the mindset that Schefter is getting information from Kyle directly? Like, is that?
I don't know. I can't. If I say that on the air, I'm probably going to get a call from like the PR director being
got
like,
it.
Like,
that's
I don't know. But I mean, like, if I were John York and I heard Adam Schefter saying this stuff was so specific, they've seen him in practice. There's no trademark it. Like, I'm thinking, does he have a source? Is the source in my organization?
Right.
Does my quarterback coach text Adam Schefter? I know they know each other. They've got to have each other's numbers. Like, is that happening? So I'd at least ask if I were John. Hey, Brian, is that you? It can't be.
Yeah, like
stop.
The alarm's been off. I'm like, that's like something a coach would say.
Yes.
Not a GM.
So, dude, think about it. That's his quarterback coach.
Yeah.
If that's true, not just the quarterback coach doesn't necessarily like him, but is like actively subverting. Like, you can't have that, dude. That's a fireable offense. That's why I'm not accusing him because I don't know. But John has to find out. John has to find out, man.
You look at that interview, and he says it with such
conviction, certainty.
Matter of factly, like, this is something that came out of the highest person who has decision making. Right, and he was just like, "Hey, they've seen it in practice.
They wanted Mac Jones.
Right.
They wanted Mac Jones. I mean, they wanted Mac Jones, but they changed their mind, and now they changed their mind again. So what are you gonna do? It's like, what? Who is telling you this, man, and why? How does this help the 49ers? I don't think it helps the 49ers. Does it help the quarterback coach who can't develop Trey Lance? Perhaps. Does it help the coach who invested in this guy? Perhaps. It feels like a CYA move. You know what that stands for?
No.
Cover your ass.
Oh, cover your ass. Okay.
That's what it accomplishes. Hey, we tried. He sucks. I know you don't see. I mean, we're not going to put him out there and lose games just to show you that he sucks. We're just going to whisper that he sucks. Like, it's unprofessional.
Here's the other thing, though, Grant. Unlike any other team that I have seen, this team makes a living off missing on high round picks, but finding those late round picks, and those late round picks having kind of a chip on your shoulders, right? The Freds. Yeah. The Kittles,
right,
and Brock is of that ilk as well, right?
Right,
and so to them they can tell the owner, hey, listen, we missed on, we missed on, our first two draft picks, Foster and Thomas, Thomas, right? But look who we ended up getting, right? And subsequently, the quarterback's no different position, but it kind of is, right? And so it's going to be interesting to see that. And I'm always about dynamic because it's such a long season and players are going to gravitate towards the person that's going to get them paid the most and win, right? Because it's about winning and padding your stats and kind of doing both. And if you can do both, you're going to get your next contract. It's going to be interesting to see where that lands. And it looks like Trey's on the right trajectory, but I don't think it's. Would you be surprised if they traded him to Minnesota tomorrow for Kirk Cousins?
They're saying there's no trade market for him. They're telling us too much. Here's what I don't like about what's going on. Like, the 49ers, let's step back. As an organization, they've defended players who've been arrested, had DUIs, been accused of abusing women. I mean, they've defended players like this. Just last year, Charles Omenihu got arrested, and they were like, what? We got to hear both sides. We got to let the process play out. He's going to start. They defended Charles Omenihu. But Trey Lance, who's done nothing wrong, hasn't played poorly for a 21-year-old, 22-year-old, just got hurt, essentially playing running back. And you're potentially leaking stuff about him? What? How is that happening? That can't happen. You're too good of an organization to let that happen. That is just unprofessional, and I think more people should call it out. Trey hasn't done anything wrong.
Do you think
he hasn't gotten arrested? He didn't get a DUI. He didn't hit anyone. He got hurt.
You don't think they cut him?
No, they don't have the freaking cojones to cut him. They're scared. They don't know what to do. That's what they're paralyzed, doing nothing.
You don't think
freaking Hamlet
in purgatory?
Yeah, to do or not to do. To be what do I do? I'll make a play about it and I'll think about it. And I'll talk.
What?
Yeah, huh?
One last thing. I think I do think the Niners on paper are a better team. But that being said, I think if I, as a 49er fan, if I had to come up with the easiest schedule, I would have done what happened last year. They got a lot of breaks from that schedule. Essentially 2 extra home games, that Mexico game and then the LA game. And I think they had one more game where it was like really weird timing, but they had more 49er fans than they did the other teams. So they essentially had 3 extra games, never went outside the West Coast. They might be a better team this year, but the schedule, the way it lays out, they may have more losses. So it's going to be interesting to see.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let me lay that out for you real quick. So they have 3 home games in a row, I want to say. Hold on. Yeah, they got Giants, Cardinals, Cowboys, 3 home games in a row, weeks 3, 4, 5. Then they never have 2 home games in a row after that. So they'll have like play in Minnesota, come back, home, bye week, then to Jacksonville. Come back, play Tampa. Then they got to play in Seattle, then go to Philly. Come back, play Seattle, go to Arizona. Come back, play the Ravens, go to Washington. Like, there's a ton of, we're here, we're gone. We're here, we're like, that's the exact opposite of how last year broke. So to me, this could be a better team, like you said, than last year and still go 11-6, 10-7, 9-8.
Yeah.
I predicted 10-7.
Yeah, I think
11-6 would be a good year for this team.
10-7 and maybe the 3rd seed, which again, with this team, they're going to go up against a team that's going to be well rested, right? That NFC, if they can get past the NFC Championship. So they got to start fast, but the schedule, the way it lays out, I could see them, and they got to start fast because the schedule does them no favors at the end of the year with the travel. It doesn't.
That week 5 game against Dallas is fascinating because I think Niner fans and the Niners think they own Dallas. They've beaten them twice in a row in the playoffs, but I don't know how that game would have went if Tony Pollard hadn't gotten injured. That was a huge break for the 49ers. Yeah,
people forget about that. The people forget.
Yeah, it was a close game, and that team sort of has the Niners' kryptonite in the sense that they have that great D-line. The Niners can't block the Cowboys. They can't block the Cowboys. They can't block the Eagles. So you have to get real creative with those teams, and Kyle did it against Dallas, but really just survived. They scored 19 points. I mean, all that pressure.
I would say it's not. I would say that to me, Kyle did not get creative in that game. He went straight vanilla. He should have. He had his game plans flopped. Had he done that against Philadelphia, they may have won that game, and they may have a not injured quarterback. Right? Yeah. He should have gone ultra conservative against Philadelphia because it was anyone's game.
It's even better. It was an even better D-line. Yeah. And then you had Josh Johnson in there. Karan, I got to take more callers, man, but it's always good to see you.
I'll see you later.